status? Where was that chopper headed?
I have 3 airfields in Qatar that are promising, but they're privately owned, and nobody can get close enough to take a look.
I got a whole lot of nothing. Every time I send someone to follow up on a lead, it turns out the buildings are abandoned, or burned out, or bombed into trouble.
Adam Jensen, please report to Peter Chang's office. Adam Jensen to Peter Chang's office. Thank you.
How many?
Adam, you're here. You made it in. It's good to see you're okay.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, it was a close call. I got lucky. A lot of people didn't.
I was here working when the first reports came in. It was chaos. Phones ringing off the hook, people yelling, scrambling to find out what was going on. Then when Miller told me you were there,
I'm all right.
Good. You looking for him? Because he's tied up right now and meeting with Lyon, I think.
Really? He's using the NSN right now?
Yeah, I just saw him. Oh, hey, that reminds me, here's yours.
What's this?
The card for the shooting range. Chang changed all the codes this morning, said something about only giving access to people he's vetted personally. The bombing really freaked him out. Third one in 6 months, can you believe it? I'm really glad you're okay.
Thanks, Arya. I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, I better get back downstairs. It's gonna be a busy day. Come by later if you want to talk.
Copy that.
Last night, the Collective published the tax returns for 50 richest people in Switzerland. It made for some very
Jensen,
interesting
we need to talk. By God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him it's not safe enough here.
We're fine, Chang.
The police station, the train station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Praha Dovos just got hacked.
Our building's front company. Thought it was fake.
I wish it was fake. Miller's got me cleaning up IntelliCam footage from the attack to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are? Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured out that the company's a front? Maybe they know what's really down here.
We have a lot of enemies. The people who bombed the train station. You don't think they'd love to know where we are? You need to help me figure out who's looking into us and make them stop.
I'm gonna need more information about this snoop of yours.
I don't know for sure that our cover's been blown, but if it has, we need to know before our enemies have a chance to do something about it.
You got an MO in this hacker?
At first I thought it might be the Collective.
But you're not convinced.
Not Janus's style to leave crumbs this big. But whoever it is, they risk exposing us. If the Collective ever found out where we operate... My God, Jensen.
Maybe Janus knows already.
Hey, don't say shit like that. I get nervous enough as it is.
You really think there's a risk here? Maybe someone's just poking around the fake website of a fake company.
If someone points a gun at me, I assume it's loaded. If someone hacks into the website of the company that serves as our cover, I assume they're doing it for a bad reason.
Such as?
Everything depends on who they are and what they know. But we're in the business of dealing with terrorists. If those terrorists find out where we are...
TF-29 likes its privacy.
Sure. More importantly, Chang likes being in one piece. Unlike you, I don't just brush off explosions.
What can you tell me about our front company?
Praha Dovos was designed to be forgettable. The kind of place you walk by 100 times and still can't remember.
It obviously caught someone's attention. What happens if we're compromised?
My guess, we dismantle and disappear. Agents go into hiding, Director burrows into some hole, poof, no Christmas party. I need you to find out as much as you can about our snoop. Make sure we're not in danger.
All right. You have any leads?
I traced our hacker snoop to an unrented apartment. Top floor, 33 Hlavny, just down the street. This guy walks by us every single day. Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling. correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment, access the computer they used, and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
Janus relies on public perception.
Be careful out there.
They've been everywhere for the past week.
How's security over there?
The problem with the collective is that they've branded themselves as online Robin
Run
Hoods.
DNA checks
through all the alphabet agencies.
Nothing.
Janus relies on public perception.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
Do you think one of them would pop
Janus.
up on some
I mean,
list?
what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world,
Run DNA
attacking
checks.
corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus.
This is so weird.
Hey, Agent Jensen, nice work in Dubai. But still, you know, what I want to know is who those ogged-up guys in the gold masks were. I'll be compiling all the case files, and as soon as I know anything, it'll be up on the board.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into. The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman, and they call her Mother. That's creepy, right? I think that's really creepy. Here we go, the Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine, without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God.
Run DNA
This
checks
group has
through
so
all
many
the
names and
alphabet
subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s. There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses and become one with the Machine God through a ritual they call Ascension. You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and augs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet. Janus. I mean, what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world, attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus. What to say about the Juggernaut Collective that isn't speculation. A bunch of their members were running operations out of Montreal in 27, resurfacing for a while in 28. You heard of the Rifleman Bank Station? Bell Tower? Anyway, the Collective is a group of hacker activists, or hacktivists, God, I hate that word, dedicated to the cause of freedom. At least that's what they say, or what their actions appear to say. They fight corruption by exposing hypocrisy and protecting the unprotected. No one knows the real power structure inside of the Collective, but there is one name that echoes over the darknet. And that name that echoes even louder than Hex, and you can talk to Peter Chang if you don't believe me, that name is Janus. And some say Janus runs everything, while others think there is no Janus.
What I need you to do is listen to me.
The New Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati, with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective.
Who am I? I'm the guy doing his fucking job.
Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for information.
Do you think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
You've heard of these guys. ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented
There isn't
people.
much here to go on.
It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker soon after the AUG incident, when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge. Dr. Talos Rucker, former limb clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave his native Germany and to live in the Utrecht complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
Through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
There isn't much here to go on.
I would have thought you'd had your fill of these guys since Dubai, Jensen. The Jinn, a group of smugglers led by twin brothers Salar and Wasim Alam. Their exact base of operations is unknown, but it's most likely
There's
in
something
Muscat,
here, I'll
Oman.
find it.
The brothers Alam have been in operation since 2020 and have greatly expanded their operations since then, recruiting mercenaries, ex-military, nationalistic agitators, and other colorful criminal agitators from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the surrounding region. They deal in drugs, weapons, medical implants, AUGs, and they occasionally throw in some human trafficking. Ah, Agent Singh, great poker
What I
player.
need you
I still
to
owe him
do
100
is
credits.
listen to me.
So I hope his incursion with the Jinn lasts another few months. You know, maybe he'll forget I owe him the money.
You think one of them would pop up with my eyes?
Oh, here we go. The Diwali crime family. As you may already know, they're one of the
Who am I?
largest crime
I'm the guy doing
families
this
in
fucking
Europe,
job.
but
Who
they
the
do
fuck are
business
you?
almost everywhere, from Northern Europe all the way to the Middle East. After their humble beginnings in a coastal town in Georgia, the Diwali quickly moved from gambling to more lucrative criminal enterprises until they found their specialty, smuggling, which includes human trafficking too. The Diwali can get anything to anywhere. It's as if borders just don't exist to them.
Might as well be ghosts.
But their rapid expansion came at the cost of their Georgian purity when they started incorporating an ever-increasing number of Russians into the group. If you ask me, I think a major power struggle is coming within the Diwali. One of the old versus the new. The past versus the future. Otar's right-hand man is this guy, Vano. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I mean, but he's
That's
strong
all the
and
data I
loyal,
have right
something
I've
Otar
run
values
DNA
greatly.
checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
Otar Bodkavelli. This guy's a classic. They don't make many like him anymore. Sharp mind, a real businessman. One of those gangsters who thinks that crime is a necessary
I'm
evil.
sorry,
Now,
we're all in
if it's
strung
gonna
out shape.
happen, he's there to make sure people have respect and make good money. Good business.
Janus relies on public perception.
Ah, the Diwali called this guy Constantine. Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right?
Whoever did this.
We don't have a last name for Constantine, but until his
State
death in the
police are
Brazil
playing
bombing,
stingy with
he was a
sharing
high-placed
evidence.
member of the Diwali crime family, answering to Otar Bodkavelli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the upper echelons of the organization, all the way up to Raj Nikoladze and beyond. Between you and me, I suspect that he's a Khan, a spy that watches a Diwali lieutenant closely to make sure he doesn't make a move on the boss.
That's all the data I have right now.
The classic Diwali structure has two spies, or Pakhans, working for the lieutenant who report directly to the boss, to make sure he stays the boss. Those guys are pretty violent.
Who am I?
Ah,
I'm the guy doing this fucking job. Who the
Radic
fuck are you?
Nikoladze. This guy's a piece of work. Driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime family. The man spends more money on suits than most people spend on their
There's
houses.
something here, I'll find
But
it.
don't let the looks and the haute
guys
couture
might as well
fool
be
you.
ghosts.
He's the boss. He's in control, and he's squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down along the way.
Crying out loud.
Purity First is an anti-AUG group dedicated to keeping humans human, all pure, no augmentations. In their obsessive pursuit of this goal, they have taken extreme measures and are suspected of being responsible for multiple
What I
acts of
need you
breaking
to
and
do
entering,
is
vandalism, and
listen to
theft. On occasion, they've even become violent, being implicated in several assaults and murders as they push for their goal of human purity. They've been quiet since the incident.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
They're like serial killers. Deep down, they all want to be caught.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere. Close my eyes, but all I see is strange numbers swirling on my lids.
They're posturing, as opposed to conducting an actual investigation.
Greatest concerns of the digital age. And we at Palisade Property Bank have made addressing those concerns a priority. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property Bank is beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government. Assured anonymity. Palisade Bank Corporation is now and forever will be the best secure corporate archiving company.
I think Singh's got some kind of adrenaline addiction. He plays it too close to the edge.
He made it out of Dubai, didn't he?
I'm telling you, if it had been anyone but Jensen on the ground, Singh would be dead.
Well, you know what? I think you're right.
Report to cybercrimes. Agent Meyer to cybercrimes.
Dark days ahead. And a shitload of
The clearly seeks to ensure the rights of the augmented in a world that has turned
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Alex, the whisper chip is in.
Weird, it's already picking up a freak. Jesus, Adam, is Miller in there right now?
Shit, gotta go.
Jensen, I need to see you, now!
Agent Jensen reporting for duty, sir. Tried to do it earlier, but you were on a conference call.
Yeah, I was. Should I be worried about you, Jensen?
Sorry.
That blow you took to your systems. It's not messing with your head or anything, making you do things?
I'm not gonna go crazy and start attacking people, if that's what you're worried about.
You've been checked out then. The problem with your orgs is gone.
I took care of it.
Good, good. God knows with all that's happened, I need you at 100% right now.
You sounded pissed when you called me in. Everything okay?
Don't ever leave the field, Jensen. You'll regret it. As soon as you strap a desk to your ass, you'll be swimming in goddamn politics.
The boss is giving you trouble.
What? Oh, that? No, the trouble's state police. They're pushing us out of the Ruzicka investigation. I want you over there to make sure that doesn't happen.
You're putting me on the train station attack? Not Dubai?
Forget Dubai. McCready's handling it.
Good. Thought I'd have to fight him to let me handle this one. Whoever planted those bombs yesterday has a lot to answer for.
Agreed. And we have to find out who they are before the state police fuck up our crime scene.
You said they're trying to push us out?
I sent Fletcher in this morning to oversee evidence collection. Seems he's being detained, because he hasn't checked in since.
They can't lock us out. The Czech Republic signed our UN mandate agreement. They gave us jurisdiction over terrorist investigations.
Yeah, well, the former director of their security information services runs state police now. He's come up with a loophole, claiming this attack falls under the homegrown terror exemption.
Homegrown? He's saying it's ARC? The Augmented Rights Coalition?
I don't care what he's saying. He may even be right. I just want us in there so we can find out.
Chang said you've got him cleaning up Intellicam footage that was captured during the bombing. Maybe it can tell us something.
Maybe. But between you and me, Chang's become a little more unglued since Ruzicka. Not sure we can wait for him to get his shit together.
So where do I start?
Technically, you're supposed to speak to our psychologist before getting back into action.
I don't need a shrink.
Convenient, because she's not in the office right now, and I don't want to waste any more time.
So how do I get to Ruzicka? Public transportation's not stopping there.
It will for you once I make a phone call. Head to the metro and call me when you're there. Good luck, Agent.